our first speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, kindly, whatever or however you think you know about business leadership, pause. Because you're about to meet a woman whose story does not just inspire, it redefines what it means to build with vision, to lead with heart, and to grow with purpose. She is not just the national director of BNI Uganda, she is the reason BNI Uganda exists and thrives. From battling skepticism about trust in the Ugandan business space to proving that referrals, integrity, and community can indeed go hand in hand, she stood firm, planted the seeds, and what she built has become a movement. When COVID hit, she did not just hold down the fort, she shifted her mindset from leading businesses to leading business owners, caring for their lives, their families, and their dreams. That's the spirit that she has ignited in us all. She is the founding force behind BNI Uganda, inspired by not profits, but by a simple, powerful value: givers gain. A value that has turned into a mission, and a mission that turned into a movement. Despite warnings that BNI would attract fraudsters and fail, she believed in a higher standard, that we can do good business with integrity for the benefit of our communities and our families. She has spent the last decade building not just chapters, but a culture. Her dream for BNI Uganda is bold and clear: 5,000 strong members, regional and global transformation, and a Uganda that attracts investment because of its business values. She is a visionary, a bridge builder, and a woman of deep care and conviction. But before we bring her up on stage, I will ask the media team to run a video.
In 2015, after an inspiring meeting in Nairobi, Diana Kibuuka returned to Uganda with a dream: to build a referral-driven business community like BNI.
I was inspired when I attended a BNI meeting in Nairobi, Kenya. And at this meeting, I saw BNI business leaders who were part of this community at 6 a.m. in the morning, gathered in a Nairobi hotel, really excited and passing business with each other. And one particular referral generated 15 million Kenya shillings. And what struck me about that number is when I converted to Uganda shillings, I could imagine the zeros. And I began to think about how much commission is the person who gave the referral going to get. And so when I asked my neighbor, and my neighbor told me, no, in BNI, we don't give commission, it's purely givers gain. Really, I was inspired because I thought that if business owners, professionals, entrepreneurs can wake up at 6 a.m. to pass business to each other and can all believe the same philosophy, givers gain. No expectation of commission, but expecting that someone else out there is thinking about me and will help me. I believed that if I could bring this idea to Uganda, I believe that Ugandan businesses would thrive.
She invited 200 people to the very first meeting. 60 showed up for the meeting, yet just 4 remained. Those 4 became our pioneers. Diana gathered colleagues and business leaders. Among those who stayed were member number 001, Ranjit Kumar, member number 002, Tracy Ntabazi, member number 003, Mark Karamira Karejesa, member number 004, Brenda Nantongo. Their perseverance laid the foundation for Uganda's first BNI chapter.
I remember I was at a place called Good African Coffee, and then a member, somebody who had he joined? I think he had already joined at the time, old friend of mine called Isaac Kajendagura. Found us there, walked by, hey guys, what's up, what's happening, how are you? Oh, we're just here catching up, talking business, how's things? Like, oh, by the way, why don't you guys come and check out this new business group that meets, it's meeting on Friday at Imperial Hotel at 6:30 in the morning. I was like, what? So I walked into the room and found all these mature, established business people, many of them, that early in the morning. I kept time, and everybody was there in the room, and people kept streaming in. And there was this positive vibe and atmosphere. Meet so and so, the general manager of Elite Computers in Uganda. Meet the CEO of AR Accountancy Limited, and so I was meeting all these interesting business people that I had never met, and yet I had been networking quite a bit at the time already.
Those four launched our pilot chapter. Word spread and soon new chapters formed. Over these early years, membership grew steadily and the BNI principle of givers gain started to take hold in Uganda's business community. By 2019, we had multiple chapters across Kampala and beyond. BNI Uganda was known not just for referrals, but also for personal growth, structure training, and business integrity. COVID-19 posed challenges, but in true BNI spirit, we adapted with virtual meetings and digital referrals. As of 2025, Uganda proudly hosts 14 active chapters and 600 business owners and professionals. Our community spans industries from tech and tourism to service and goods. Through referrals, hundreds of businesses have grown and thrived.
It was definitely weird because most people who come to those meetings, there used to be many people that would come, but they would not stay because they were in for a quick gain and they were not seeing anything happening quickly. So they would pack and go. And so it took us like 9 months to actually launch the chapter. Wow. Our business has, we literally stopped using paper. It's very hard to find paper in our business. And we saw that happen in BNI. At the beginning, BNI had lots of paper. The people who came later know only of the BNI apps. All that app work was paperwork. So it was a lot of work, and as a vice president, you have to fill in so many slips and then finally go to the BNI Connect to enter that stuff. So I saw BNI keep changing, innovating, creating apps. So I said, why am I also using lots of paper? I need to get digital and find out what digital tools to use and reduce on this paper trail. And I've been so radical that I don't know whether I've used a check in the last 4 years when there's online banking.
I think the biggest challenge was people completely, of course, could not relate to BNI. So many times they used to call it BMI, Body Mass Index. So just that introducing sort of a new phrase and then introducing a new culture where you're telling people are going to help each other grow. And I tell you, Doris, there were so many countless stories. You said, Ugandans, they don't help each other. Secondly, Ugandan business people are bafere. So the idea was that I'm going to bring all the bafere together and they're going to fare each other. The idea that I'm going to bring all the fraudsters together and they're going to create even more frauds. So the name, introducing a new name, and then the mindset culture change were two big things that I had to sort of push. I think the challenge of awareness, I just kept talking more. I would speak in my family groups, I would speak in my, all the spaces I was in. My friends, were amazing. They listened to me, tell them about this organization, which personally, my personal experience with BNI, when I brought it to Uganda, was 2 meetings I had seen in Kenya. And here I was encouraging them to gather together. So for me, I just kept talking and talking and talking. And also, I think the second thing was that because my mind was already convinced that this idea could come alive, I had seen it in Nairobi, and I had been told it's in, at that point, 60-something countries. So I believed. So sometimes it's that blind faith, but total, sold in for the vision.
What makes us unique? A structured referral system with accountability, skill building workshops for leadership, presentation, and business growth. A culture of giving that fosters trust and reliability. Our vision for 2035: establish 30 chapters across Uganda. Reach 2,000 plus members, including more youth and women-led businesses. Launch a virtual BNI Uganda platform to link entrepreneurs beyond Kampala. Partner with government and corporate entities for entrepreneurship support. Are you an entrepreneur ready to generate business through trusted relationships? Join BNI Uganda, where collaborations, integrity, and growth intersect. Together, we build better businesses, one referral at a time. BNI Uganda, celebrating 10 years, inspiring the next 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, please celebrate with me as we welcome on stage the one who birthed the vision, nurtured the network, and built the legacy in Uganda. Our mother, our sister, daughter of the land, National Director, BNI Uganda, Diana Ninsiima Kibuuka.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you very much, everybody. Please be seated. Good morning, BNI. Good morning, BNI. Wow, wow, wow. First of all, welcome to our international guests. Welcome to Uganda. Welcome to East Africa. Second, welcome to our East African brothers and sisters. Welcome, Kenya. Welcome, Tanzania. Now, BNI, we're going to give a special welcome to friends, to family, to people who are in the room and who are wondering, who are these people? So let's give a special welcome to all our visitors. Wow, thank you so much. And we do have some special visitors in this room. Today, I would like to acknowledge Absa Bank. Absa Bank, thank you so much. Absa Bank, our platinum sponsors. And I'd also like to acknowledge Airtel. Airtel, thank you so much. I would also like to acknowledge Uganda Tourism Board. They may not yet be in the room, but one thing I'll tell you, I love my country, and I love East Africa. And I'm one of those people who has traversed East Africa by train, by air balloon, by foot. And so as I stand here, it is with great honor and with great pride that I welcome you all to the 3rd East African Conference. Welcome. Today we are gathered and we're bringing together so many people, so many countries. But what I'm so passionate about is that we're all united because we believe that business works, and that doing business with people you trust works even better. And our theme across BNI Global, BNI is a global organization, over 80 countries, a handful were represented today. But our theme across all countries this year is beyond, looking beyond, going beyond, stretching beyond. And I don't know what that means for you today in the space you're in. And as Uganda, as we prepare to host, as we thought about the 10-year journey, we thought about beyond borders. because you, Kenya, gave us BNI. But America gave the whole world BNI. India, where I go a lot for learning and lessons, gave us, as Uganda, the formula to do the right things. And so when we talk about beyond borders, we're talking about learning. We're talking about growing together. We're talking about exploring. And in BNI, we believe in collaboration. We believe in growth. We meet to help each other grow. And as I reflected on that journey, my 10-year journey, having gone to Nairobi, come back, I just thought I would share some lessons. And I thought I would take stock. The first interesting thing is that before I started my BNI journey, I went to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Which country is Mount Kilimanjaro? Louder? Thank you. But it was a BNI member in Kenya who made it possible. When I attended a BNI meeting in Kenya, I asked for my dream. And I said, I want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And a BNI member made it happen. And as I set out to climb that mountain, there are some things that I learned along the way that have remained with me, and I think that saw me through. The first thing that I learned on that mountain is that when you're setting off on a journey, you will always be surrounded by many people. But it's very, very important to set your course. Because as you journey with many, some people go different ways. And at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro is a beautiful, beautiful hiking space. And you find lots of people coming on board, lots of people enjoying that environment. But guess what? When you lift your bag to hike, you leave more and more behind. And 10 years of BNI have taught me that we are on a journey. And at the bottom, the whole business sector looks like everybody is doing business. Isn't that right? Everybody is doing business. But the moment you set up and pick up your bag and seek to set to new heights, I want to tell you, it becomes very lonely. It becomes very complicated. And if you've not set your course, it is very easy to be distracted. It is very easy to lose focus. All of us have a COVID story. But in COVID, I realized I am not leading businesses. I'm not leading Taxi Cab. I'm leading Makaramira. Because every time a family member was ill, every time somebody needed to be isolated, guess whose phone they called? And I didn't have any answers. So I had to navigate point to point. But the course was clear. I had committed to lead my team, and I was not letting go. The second lesson I learned from the mountain is that sometimes on the journey, it gets very, very hard. And I know some of you are sitting here today, and it's very, very hard. It's tough. You've pushed, you set your course, you're committed, you're on that journey. And for me, personally, on that mountain in Kilimanjaro, it was at the point of the crater. For our visitors, Kilimanjaro is a volcanic mountain. And as the volcanic, formed, it left a big gaping crater. And that place is so beautiful. It's snowy white and ice. Yeah? For those of you who come from countries where it snows every season, yeah? We don't experience that here in Africa. And so, right at that point, I felt everything in me was done. But I could see the peak. It was not far away. Uhuru. Freedom was up there. But I was here. And ladies and gentlemen, it was so interesting because at that point, my guide, Harold, told me, Diana, it is okay. Where you have reached today, not many people have. Where you have reached today, not many people have reached. And I do not know where you are. But I want to tell you that the summit is just ahead. And sometimes you can see it. Sometimes you can see the finish line. But sometimes there's darkness. And I share deeply because as I lead this team in Uganda, I see their burdens, I see their challenges, I see their pain. I see the mountains that they're trying to summit, which seem impossible. I see the health reports, and I hear the stories. But 10 years have taught me that if you set your course, and if you keep your eye on the mountaintop, you will arrive. The last lesson I learned is that you must seize the opportunity. You must grab it. You must take it. One of my sisters, who I'm so proud to have in the room today, always says, do not ask for permission. It's your business. Own it. Sheila, who I want to recognize in the room. Yes, you from Nobo. From Nobo. Yes. Yes. She does salon business. Yes. And we were talking and talking. And she was saying it's hard sometimes. And I just said, you know what? You must believe in your heart. You must have the conviction that what you're doing makes a difference. And so for me, when I was introduced to BNI, I think what I saw was the opportunity. I saw the opportunity to bring people together, to communicate the power of helping each other. I always tell the story that I come from a big family. That big family is in the room today. But they help each other. We help each other. We carry each other's burdens. And when the opportunity for BNI was availed to me, and I journeyed to Kenya and came back to learn, I took the opportunity of also seeing what else is there. I have been to America where BNI was born, but I've also been to so many countries where BNI is thriving. And thank you, Romeo, for coming. And I want to tell you, across Southeast Asia and India, BNI as a brand is responsible for multiple collaborations, billions exchanged, factories set up, global trade. And that's what I see as I stand here today. When we talk about collaboration, we're talking about exceeding the limits, transforming the way the world does business. And it will happen. It will come to pass. But as I reflected on those 10 years, the one thing that stood out for me were the people. And as you all know, when I speak, please be ready to come. When I call your name, please come. The stage we have confirmed, the Uganda team has confirmed that the stage will hold. Are we together? Yes. I would like to invite Anthony Njenga. Anthony is an executive director of BNI Kenya. Anthony was the president in the chapter where I first sat in a BNI meeting and heard about BNI. Just stand here with me. Mr. Muraguri, I won't invite you to stand, but I would like us to acknowledge with a big hand clap, Mr. Muraguri. He literally taught me everything I know on phone. I would call him, and he would tell me what to do, and I would go and do it. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to acknowledge all the members of BNI Integrity, founding members of BNI Integrity. Please come to the front. Just come quickly. Founding members, BNI Integrity. Brenda, I don't know if you're in the room. Elaine, if you're in the room. Dr. Steve, please come quickly. Please, I want to thank you again for believing. I used to literally tell them, I don't know what we are going to do, but let's first gather, and then we'll take it to that next level. Thank you, Agre. I would like to invite the founding members of BNI Sunrise. Second chapter, BNI Sunrise founding members. Thank you, Ken, President Ken. Thank you, Solomon, the 13th President. I think you know how this is going. If you're the founding members of Prosper, please come to the front. Alexandra, please come to the front. Thank you. Founding members of Prosper. Thank you. Wilbur, yes, member 001 in Prosper. Annette. I would like to invite the founding members of Abundance chapter. And of course, Amazing chapter. Thank you, Dr. Rose. Thank you for coming. Amazing and Abundance chapters. Barbara, I saw you somewhere, yes. Amazing, Dr. Rutiba, I saw you. Council. I would like to invite the champions. Champions, founding members. Thank you. Founding members for BNI Excellence. Please come. Thank you. I would like to invite the founding members for BNI Achievers, Diamond, BNI Victorious, BNI Noble. Victorious, you should be more. Surely, I can see you. Please come up. BNI Noble, Sheila, you're among them. You were there on the first launch. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, BNI Victorious. Thank you for showing up strong and proud. Thank you, BNI Achievers. I would then like to invite Mr. Murali. Please come to the front. Vikas from India, he's an executive director. Lillian and Nancy, please come to the front, executive directors. Paminas, please come to the front. I would like to invite Mr. Robert Kabushenga. Yes. Elite chapter, legacy chapter, please come. Limitless chapter. Please come. All my children, you know. My mother is also in this room, and she just told us that all of you know I love you, so just come to the front. Thank you, Limitless, Elite. Thank you. Please come to the front. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Moraguri, now I can invite you to come to the front. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please, ladies and gentlemen, your attention. Please look at the leaders on this stage. These are leaders who dare. These are leaders who made decisions at a time when nobody could believe. You walk into an empty room and you're being told we're going to have a group. And I want to encourage you, even myself, that everything starts small. Like any seed planted in the ground, if properly nurtured, nourished, cared for, it will grow. And this team, there's a Kenya team, there's an India team, BNI Uganda, this team is nourishing us. This team is caring for us. This team is speaking into our lives every day. And I want to make a commitment that while I lead, I am going to see far. I am going to run fast. I am going to do more so that we can have more leaders, more people, more transformation, more businesses thriving. And I really, really want to invite you on this journey. I know Mr. Murali is on this journey. Lillian is on this journey. Nancy, where are you? Nancy is on this journey. Paminas is on this journey. Vikas is on this journey. Mr. Muraguri is on this journey. But I want us to think of a country, Uganda, with BNI in Mbali, with BNI in Arua, with BNI in Kabale. I want us to think of a continent. Can you imagine in Africa, we only have about 7 countries franchised, 2 in West Africa, 1 in North Africa, 3 in East Africa, 2 focus, but 1 in South Africa. Imagine the power if we had businesses across this continent leveraging the growth of BNI. And so the challenge is for you, seated where you are, to our partners, to our sponsors, to our friends. The challenge for each one of us is how can we go further? How can we go faster? And how can we bring more people? So as you enjoy this convention, as you enjoy this celebration, I want you to reach out to somebody and let them know that you're part of an amazing community, you're part of a thriving community, you're part of a global community, and you're here to stay. Thank you so much. Let's celebrate all these leaders, and let's celebrate the East African Convention.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you very much, our National Director, Uganda